What's good, Jackson Kruger sports fans? It's your boy Dad back with another one. And with the NBA playoffs about to begin, I thought it would be fun if we did previews of the teams about to play each other in the playoffs. And that really just starts with the number 1 seed against the number 8 seed in the East, which would be the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Orlando Magic. Normally, seeding matters because you have that extra game at home. But this year, due to the coronavirus and there being no fans in the stands, it really doesn't matter. But still, the Bucks are a better team, a lot better team. I don't want the Magic fans to get mad at me, but I think this is a 4-0 sweep. I'll show in this video how the Magic could pull out a few victories and shock the world, or even maybe win the series against the Bucks. It's just the Magic have an uphill battle against Milwaukee. They average 118 points a game, Milwaukee, which I'm talking about, and they give up 107 points per game. While the Magic are giving up 109 points per game, but only averaging 105. And in the 4 games that Orlando played against Milwaukee, they lost all 4. One of which the Milwaukee didn't have Giannis. And that was the game where they lost 123-91. In December, they lost twice, 110-101 and 111-100. And just a couple of months ago in February, they lost 110-95. I just think Milwaukee has Orlando's number. Since the coach of Milwaukee, Mike Budenholzer, has taken over, he's 6-7 against the Magic. And in the playoffs, Mike Budenholzer has had a 27-27 record, 27 wins and 27 losses. While Steve Clifford is a 4-12 coach in the playoffs. Majority of those games came with the Charlotte Bobcats, but it's still your playoff record. And I just don't see it getting much better without a key player for the Magic and Jonathan Isaac. He averaged 12 points for them and 7 rebounds a game. He was 6'11" with a 7'1" wingspan who could create his own bucket and then play really good defense. And he was going to be guarding Giannis for majority of this series. So without him guarding Giannis, they're going to have a lot more faith in Aaron Gordon to guard Giannis, who I really like as well. But if the Magic need Aaron Gordon to shadow Giannis all game on defense, that's going to take away from his 15 points per game. So they're going to have to give the ball to Vucevic a lot more, their big man, who averages 19 points and 11 rebounds per game. He's a very skilled player, able to create buckets for himself in the post, able to find teammates open off in the post for a pass, for a 3, and he's expanded his range to 3-point range in his last couple of years. But the Magic are just a young core. Markelle Fultz is a really good piece that I like, that people seem to sleep on still just because his jumper isn't what it was in college. And Mo Bamba, he just needs to get his head on his shoulders to figure out the game and positioning where to be at. But to stack that up against the veteran leadership of the Bucks is pretty hard to compare. The Bucks have an average average years of service for the NBA of 7 years on their team. Kyle Korver has been through games. He's been able to find his spot and find his shot. He knows what his game is. George Hill has been in multiple finals. He knows how to get his teammates open, how to play his role. And then the Lopez brothers, who are experienced big men that are rough and gritty and do whatever it takes for their team to win. Now let's get into the lineups for both teams, and we'll start with the Magic. They have a starting 5 of Vucevic, Aaron Gordon, James Ennis, Evan Fournier, and Markelle Fultz. And for the Magic to have a chance in the series, they're going to need Evan Fournier to step up. I know he's averaging 19 points a game this year in the regular season, and that's a career high. But for the Magic to have a chance to even pull out a game or make this a competitive series, they're going to need Evan Fournier to knock down shots. The Bucks' defensive philosophy is to crowd the paint, make layups as tough as it can be, and if we give up an open 3, it is what it is. You just got to make that shot. And for that to be said, Evan Fournier needs to show that he can be a marksman from behind the arc. Markelle Fultz, I know he's not a three-point shooter, but he's a playmaker. He can attack. He can score off the dribble at will. And if he could get his 3-point average from below average to maybe 30 to 33% this series, we really might have a series on our hand. James Ennis is really just a 3-and-D player, and Orlando is going to ask James Ennis a tough task as well. He's going to have to guard Chris Middleton, who's a top 15 player in this league. Like it if you want, hate it if you want. Aaron Gordon, like we talked about him earlier, he's going to have the responsibility of guarding Giannis, so that should be a tough task and take a lot of the wind out of him on offense. But I still see him with a lot of energy. He's an energy type of player. He's a above the rim type of player. He's working on his three-pointer. He's a playmaker as well. They give him the ball to play make as well. And then Vucevic, he's got a matchup against the Lopez brothers, so he's going to have to really, really cook up, like really show out for the Magic to even have a chance in this series. Now let's get to Milwaukee's starting five. They come out with the big man in Brook Lopez, Giannis at the power forward, Chris Middleton at small forward, Wesley Matthews at shooting guard, and then Eric Bledsoe manning down that point spot. To start with Eric Bledsoe is a average to above average player at sometimes that I just really hate watching his footage in the playoffs. I don't want to say he folds, it's just he doesn't come to show his complete bag that I know he has. Wesley Matthews is a 3-and-D player just like Orlando's James Ennis. He's just a better version of it. Knocking down more threes, more consistent three-point shooter, and I'll say he's a pretty good defensive player at that 2 spot. Chris Middleton is the Robin to Giannis's Batman, and Chris Middleton is slept on by so many people in this league. He really is a star in this league, and he helps the Bucks win so many games, but he just doesn't get that credit and that love for it. He averages 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. I don't know what else you could ask from him when you have a MVP caliber player and Giannis averaging 30. I don't really want to talk too much about Giannis. We all know Giannis is a stud. Giannis is one of the best players in the league. You could just give the ball to Giannis and get out the way, and you probably have a good chance of winning. And then Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez started his career as just a low-post big man. Didn't have no three-point shot. Didn't even really have mid-range. And then he's developed into a three-point shooter, a sharp shooter from deep. You could give him the ball in crunch time and ask him to make a three, and I would put my money on it that he will make it. Now, starting 5 isn't the whole team, but if we go to the bench, the Bucks can go 12 deep, while the Magic can probably only go 9, maybe 7 to 9 deep. And the Magic's bench is filled with veterans, I would say. You could say Michael Carter-Williams is a veteran that never figured out his jump shot. They got DJ on their bench. I like him as well. He's a short guy. He doesn't get a lot of respect, but he definitely does help the team. And then Mo Bamba, we talked about him earlier. His potential is there. It's just I don't know if he can untap it. It's going to be tough for him. He's a slim build, and he jumps too soon. I think he needs to stay on the ground, get big, put his arms up, and just stay big, and then he would be a pretty good player in this league. But when you go to Milwaukee's bench, they're filled with studs. They got George Hill, they got Pat, they got Marvin Williams, they got Robin Lopez, Kyle Korver, Ilyasova. They can really go 12 deep if they wanted to in this playoffs. But, I mean, maybe in this first series they might, because I don't think they will really have to put too many minutes or stress on their starters. But you never know. But I have been wrong before. And if you think I'm completely wrong, go ahead down in the comments and let me know what you think the Magic can do in this series. If you think they can squeeze out a few victories, or even if you think they can shock the world and beat the number 1 seed at that number 8 seed. I mean, stranger things have happened. While you're down there, go ahead and let me know who you think will be in the NBA Finals, or who you think will win the NBA Finals. Also, you can subscribe to my boy Jackson's channel at Jackson Kruger Sports, and then hit that sub button to my channel at Break It Down Dev as well. That'd be amazing. If you got any friends that's Orlando fans or Milwaukee fans, go ahead and share this video with them. And with all that being said, yes, Sirski, I want you to have a blessed day.